Hi, I'm Ben Kasten. I grew up in a small town called Reedsville, Wisconsin. And life for me growing up, I grew up on a farm with 5 older siblings. I grew up in a Lutheran school and learned about God all my life. I originally did not want to go to college. In high school, I just wanted to go into the trades, and I wanted to work construction most of my life. I wasn't super into academics or anything, but then wrestling has always been a big part of my life. So I ended up ending my senior year of wrestling, losing my first round at state. So I didn't even I only got 1 match and I was done. That was pretty heartbreaking. But then one of the guys I had wrestled with a couple years back, he's 2 years older than me. He ended up coming to Point and talking to the coach and knew that I was big into wrestling and ended up bringing me on a visit here. I had known of Stevens Point because one of my older sisters went to Point. I just kind of fell in love with the place and knew I wanted to continue wrestling, and so that's been probably one of my biggest drives to come to Point. Life on campus, it was a new change for me. When I was in high school, I was always going to church and just heavily into my faith, but a lot of that was driven by my mother, actually. She was a big part of driving me to grow in my faith and brought me to church. And so once I got to college, it was having all that freedom, knowing that I finally got to make my own decisions. And so that was both a really good thing and also at times a bad thing, because then all my choices were my own and I had to figure out my own path. So the first place that I would say on campus that I encountered Christ was through Crew, the Crew ministry. They have a volleyball outing at the beginning of every year, and I went to that. I ended up meeting Ryan Nadel there. Then eventually I started meeting up with him for discipleship. He asked me a lot of hard questions and really showed me a lot of what it means to be in the faith. However, that was still early in my college career, and I was scared to actually make that commitment. So halfway through my freshman year of meeting with Ryan for discipleship, I actually stopped and I pushed him away and I said, I'm out, which ended up being a turning point for me. Things kind of just got out of hand. My priorities went out of whack. That I started focusing on some of the wrong things. After my freshman year of pushing Ryan away and kind of having nothing to do with faith and with God, I started going down kind of a darker path emotionally and getting caught up in the party scene. And so since then, around the end of my sophomore year, I ended up coming back and started meeting with Eric Zengler, one of the guys from AIA, who has been so impactful in my life. He just has such a bright light and has taught me a lot about how to follow God, and that my past sins don't define me, and that God is just a gracious God, and that He always loves me, and that's just been a big relief. Since then, I've been able to join the AIA ministry, and now I'm a leader in AIA, and I am trying to impact young athletes' lives and reach the lost. UWSP Crew has impacted my life through many different ways. One of those things is discipleship. That has been an amazing impact on my life. They've helped me to start a men's Bible or a team Bible study for wrestling. Ryan Nadel in general himself has given a lot to crew, and many of the other leaders and staff members have been amazing that they've been able to just pour into the lives of the students and into my own life as well. Yeah, since coming to Christ over the past couple of years, my priorities have definitely flipped from living life for me to living life for God, and it's just been really impactful to know that there's something greater, and there's always something that we can be living for.